Welcome to Connecting with People by Leadership Choice. This presentation introduces the newly updated virtual version of Connecting with People. At Leadership Choice, our decades of combined experience in organizational development help us work with employees, teams, and executives across all sizes of organizations. Connecting with People is our breakthrough program for mastering communications to increase effectiveness. I'm Brett Walker, President of Leadership Choice, and we are passionate about removing the barriers that impede organizational effectiveness. We do this by focusing on the common denominator across nearly everything your organization does, your people. When it comes to selecting a training solution, senior leaders often ask one question: how will our business be better as a result of this training? We find it useful to look back 180 days or so after the training is completed to best answer this question. By then, retention of key concepts is clearer and impact is more measurable. What we are seeing is astounding. For typical training initiatives, the dollars invested continue to have just 15 to 30% impact, where concepts are still being applied on the job. Based on sampling our clients, we've seen retention of our core concepts at rates between 75 and 85% after 6 months, 3 to 4 times better than the typical training experience. And we were delighted that our programs were awarded 2 prestigious 2016 Leadership Excellence Awards for the best use of team building and the best executive coaching program. Have you experienced anything like this in the past? A doctor and his staff, a complicated patient situation, and assumptions, words, and filters that produce an undesired outcome. Familiar, right? Funny, right? But poor communications produces mixed, if not bad, results. Across hundreds of team and client engagements, it's clearer than ever to us that you and I make all the difference, for better or for worse. When we communicate well, not just get along, but when people are actually connecting, organizations produce significantly better results. They realize 57% greater profitability, 20% lower turnover, 19% higher market value, and 4.5 times greater employee engagement. When better communications becomes the foundation to all of your organizational initiatives, better results follow. And what we mean by better communications isn't just how we talk or tone of voice, but how we process ideas coming from other people, how we work under pressure, how we give and receive feedback, how we interact with others, and more. Better communication means understanding and being understood, seeing eye to eye or agreeing to see things differently, encouraging others and feeling encouraged by others, being on the same page or inventing a page to be on. It means better connecting with others. It means connecting with people. Our innovative and newly updated program, Connecting with People, is the foundational solution for mastering communications to increase effectiveness. This now virtual edition of Connecting with People is based on 3 developmentally important ideas. First, when you become aware of your own communication style, what we call communication patterns, you begin to see how to leverage these communication patterns for impact. Second, when you discover the strengths of how others are showing up, their communication patterns, you can better see how to work with them as opposed to working against them or even just ignoring them. Third, when we all come together, when we huddle at the intact team, cross-functional team, executive team, or even board level, we can apply this foundational thinking to common workplace situations and quickly create greater alignment, remove dysfunction, and get better work done by engaging the people we depend on. Let's take these one at a time as I walk you through how Connecting with People works. Whether your organization is centralized in one location or has offices across the globe, Connecting with People is for you. Available as a half-day classroom workshop and now with a virtual on-demand option, Connecting with People makes centralized or remote workplace issues a non-issue. Now, you can onboard team members as they join. Great for organizations that are expanding in industries with higher natural turnover rates like retail. Let's say your core team of 6 comes together and now can log into their participant dashboard and start the program anytime from anywhere. When you add 2 new team members a few months from now, you can catch them up quickly. You first take our proprietary iConnect assessment. In 10 to 15 minutes, you will discover lots about your communication patterns. This is not a personality test, and people who have taken this assessment say that the self-awareness they get from this is a game changer. Here's what you'll see. From left to right is responsiveness. Those on the right tend to express and share emotions with others to build relationships more than those on the left. From top to bottom is assertiveness. Those on the top are more willing to make needs and wishes known to others than those on the bottom. For instance, a dominant communicator in the top left, what we'll call a dominant, is fairly outspoken, directive, and takes risks. Dominants are generally assertive, but not highly responsive. And analytical, bottom left, takes more time to formulate his or her own thoughts. They really want to be accurate in telling you what they know, and they're likely to be a bit more cautious than most and are usually not highly assertive or responsive. In the top right, an expressive talks, and sometimes a lot. They are people-oriented and enthusiastic. They can also be very persuasive. They dislike routine. Expressives are both assertive and responsive. In the lower right, amiables are peacemakers. Soft-spoken, diplomatic, and tactful, amiables can often be marginalized since they can be less assertive and tend not to take risks, but they do care about relationships. Those are our 4 communication patterns. Your full report will provide tips and techniques on each of the 4 major patterns. Like each of us, you have a primary and a secondary pattern, the 2 you use most. The fact is, we all have a little of every pattern in us, some more and some less. Here are my scores. I'm an expressive dominant, my 2 highest scores. I think others see me as even more dominant. You'll see in that section in the middle. And to the far right, under pressure, I tend to get a bit more expressive. For me, when I first saw this, it was a revelation, one that left me wanting greater mastery over all that my assessment revealed. And that leads me to the next point, gaining mastery. With this new level of self-awareness, you open the interactive workbook and dive in. This flipped learning model puts what would normally take place in the classroom right in your hands. Engaging videos, audio overviews, and action planning make this a productive 90-minute experience. Key takeaways from this experience include a video review of how these patterns interact at the team level. You will also learn how to temporarily modify your own pattern of communication to work better with others. Another breakthrough concept. This is really a big idea. Rather than tell you to change, we respect that much has made you who you are, and that can be said of others as well. So we pick things up right from there. Here's how this plays out for me. Not only am I expressive dominant, but my wife is too. But that doesn't mean we always see eye to eye. Lately, we've been looking at real estate. We tend to appreciate different things. My wife is a home designer, so for her, she loves the features of a home. That's her big picture view. And she loves to shop for others, her parents, our children, us, or sometimes just for ideas. For me, it all starts with price. This is where my secondary pattern, dominant, kicks in. I can almost hear nothing until I know what the price is. That's my bottom line. Before we completed Connecting with People, I had no idea that our clashes came simply from the fact that her big picture view was not aligning with my bottom line communication pattern. We learned that once my bottom line is addressed, once I know the price, I actually begin to listen, since price tells me who she is house shopping for, her mom or us, or perhaps just ideas for her business, and also gives me a framework for better appreciating the features she wants to describe. She learned to temporarily modify her approach with 2 seconds of bottom line information from me, and I also learned to better listen to her big picture description of features. And we have experienced really smooth sailing from there. The challenge of better communications is all around us. In a world with 15% dominance, 16% analyticals, 39% expressives, and 30% amiables, you're likely to encounter all of these communication patterns every day, and not just at work. And our clients continue to confirm that temporarily modifying one's own communication patterns makes all the difference in working together and delivering real lasting impact. So imagine you're an expressive writing an email to a dominant boss. You wax eloquent in 5 very packed paragraphs, recommending a shift in direction for your current project. You hit send, and moments later the phone rings. It's your boss. He says, "Hey, I got your email, but didn't have time to read it. Can you tell me what it's about?" How can you temporarily modify to work better with him? Remember, dominants have a bottom line view. So summarize your thinking in 3 to 5 well-crafted bullet points and invite a conversation about any detail your boss may still need. Or let's say you're the dominant boss working with your analytical team member. At your next team huddle, you ask her to net out how your sales team is performing relative to their annual goal. You wait. It feels like forever to you, let's say a second or two, right? You take a deep breath and then ask those in the meeting if anyone has an answer. No one budges. How can you temporarily modify to work better in this situation? We recommend giving an analytical 5 to 7 seconds to formulate an answer to your question. Rather than feel put on the spot, but instead given a little more space, she is more likely to say, "I think we're somewhere around 75% of goal, but if you can give me till the end of business today, I can get you the exact number." These are just brief examples of the richness revealed in the interactive workbook. The next step in connecting with people really puts this program to work. Through your dashboard, you will access new video coaching FAQs that answer common questions. Each 2 to 3 minute video, and some are shorter, is presented by one of our seasoned executive coaches and includes explanations of communication patterns, specific workplace situations, and other insightful answers. And next, in your participant dashboard, you will also find job aids that will help you prepare for your next team huddle or upcoming one-on-one. And to extend the learning process, each participant will be invited back to their dashboard about 60 days after they've completed the training to walk through a 30-minute e-learning review of the key concepts of connecting with people. This e-learning review presents some great examples, familiar personalities, and quizzes to check understanding. Finally, participants can socialize in our Connecting with People LinkedIn group and print out a certificate of completion. Connecting with People delivers. Our clients say that when people hear about the success others are having, they want in. Senior leaders' descriptions range from, "I can always use a reminder like this," to, "I now know something about myself that others have been trying to tell me all along." This program works great in many areas. When you onboard new employees, introduce them to your new communications culture with Connecting with People. Enhance the performance review process with newly agile and skilled communicators who are willing to modify how they interact, listen, and communicate based on their audience. Develop teams filled with relationship builders who create a positive environment and engage others in a genuine fashion. Create solidarity at an upcoming retreat or team planning session. Introduce, bolster, and really establish a new management initiative that needs everyone on board. But wait, there's more. There really is. From our work across hundreds of teams and organizations, we have discovered that the best way to cement these concepts on the job is to actually do that work on the job. When you make Connecting with People a team-wide program and begin to use our innovative Team Connect huddles, you will experience even greater team effectiveness. A Team Connect huddle is a facilitated application of communication patterns across a team against the backdrop of team situations or dynamics. Informative reports help Team Connect facilitators understand the primary and secondary communication patterns of each team member, how they see themselves, and how they behave under pressure. A detailed planning guide ensures those moderating a Team Connect huddle can come prepared and achieve the outcome you desire. This experiential reinforcement of core concepts and facilitated application of key learnings really elevates Team Connect interactions. We offer a certification path for team leaders, trainers, or facilitators to equip them with what they need to moderate a Team Connect huddle. Then these huddles can be conducted face-to-face or virtually. as part of a regular team meeting or to address a specific concern. Team Connect huddles are the best form of leader-led training available, where the leader is focused on applying the concepts of connecting with people to real team situations rather than spending time preparing for and conducting classroom workshops. These huddles can be easily extended to vendor dynamics, customer and sales-related concerns, and even governing boards or community engagements. So in wrapping up, I want to share a conversation I had the other day. I was visiting with a newer client who said, "I wish my whole team was filled with dominance. Wouldn't it be great to just get things done faster?" I asked, "Would you really enjoy a team of only very direct, task-oriented, firm, and strong-willed members?" He paused, giving it some thought, and as he started nodding, I added, "What about the creativity that comes from expressives, the probing insights of analyticals, and the engagement of amiables?" He shifted in his chair and he said, "You're right. I really do need everyone I've got. I just need to enable my team to do its job. And I can see now that that starts with a foundation of better communications." So what can you expect from connecting with people and the dynamic qualities of Team Connect huddles? You will see improved stakeholder, vendor, and customer relationships, new levels of team trust and engagement, upgraded strategies for enhancing individual and team strengths, action plans that deliver desired improvements. Simply put, connecting with people and Team Connect huddles deliver better results. This accelerated approach supports performance-focused organizations like yours, and it equips team members with the essential communication skills and new habits they need to achieve the results you need.